Welcome to All Music Matters Net, a podcast for all things related to music. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and comment below and consider subscribing so you can show your support and join today so you can see more content like this in the future. And now, let's get into the episode.
Well, first off, believe in yourself and don't give up. Even if you fail and you think you can't do it, just give it a try and you'll be able to do it one day.
Just keep at it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and everyone comments different ways on your videos and your style, and not everyone likes, what you do or how you do it. I think for Josh's main drive. If someone, he'll take a negative comment if there is one, and that'll make him work just that little bit harder, not for them, but more for himself.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters Net podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and with me today, my guest is Joshua Drummer and his dad, Dave, all the way out, hailing from New Zealand. Is that right?
Hi, guys.
How's it going, y'all? This is actually interesting because this is now morning time over here. It's afternoon on the east coast of the U.S., so you guys woke up pretty early for this one.
We're speaking from the future.
Yes. Now we go back to the future.
Yeah,
there we go. All right. I actually remember when we did the 16 drum collaboration on the Seven Nation Army that Ash Wells had put together for us. And I guess I had reached out to you earlier because I wanted to actually do a collaboration with you guys. And we'll get to that a little bit later. But pretty much the main reason I wanted to reach out was I wanted to get to know other drummers. I was actually surprised that you guys were in New Zealand, so I thought that would be an interesting take, and then also get to know you a little bit more, and then I guess let us know of anything that the audience would like to know. So I guess to just start off, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into your kit and everything.
Well, I'm 10, almost 11. I live in New Zealand, Taranaki, under the mountain, and I live at home with my mum and dad and my older brother, and besides drumming, I'm just a tragical kid.
I guess what made you want to take up drums? Was it something you encouraged him, Dave?
Yeah, pretty much. I used to play a lot when I was younger. We just jammed around. We did a few little gigs, parties, and stuff like that. It was more just a fun sort of hobby. We had a small drum kit that I had when Josh was about 1.5, 2 years old. He was only just walking, and we set it up in his bedroom, and he'd just start hiding it away. So he distanced himself from it for another sort of year and a bit, and then once we shifted, we had a room that we could dedicate just for a drum kit at our new house. So we took off right into it from there, and managed to just pick everything, I think, up from ear. Like, he's at this stage still can't read music, but I mean, he could listen to a song and learn it fairly quickly, the basics, and then just works on it from there. So he's got that natural talent. So I stopped and spent all my time just helping him, really. Yeah.
Is he self-taught, or does he also get drum lessons every now and again?
Nah, self-taught.
Yep.
So he'll just pick it up by listening to a song, pick up the structure, really, and then the more he plays it, the more he picks up all the details within the drumming, and yeah.
I guess it seems like vary, because like I'm self-taught too, and it was just something I did with. I didn't feel like getting lessons. I just felt like if I could just play along to the song, I feel like I'd be okay, and then like I just cover and just go from there. For drummers, is it just really a preference thing to be self-taught, or do you encourage also to have lessons as well?
Yeah, I think when he gets to high school, then he'll definitely go for lessons. My oldest son is just he was never really into the drums. He's now fifth form at school. He's 15, and he's doing music, and he's actually getting taught properly by a tutor. So yeah, I'd say the same will happen to Josh too when he gets there, which is fine, I suppose. Yeah, I think it's good for them to know how to do it as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
So what made you guys want to start your YouTube channel? Because obviously you're pretty young. A lot of the kids, or a lot of the guys I've seen, are usually guys in the teens onwards. So I think you're one of the first kids I actually stumbled upon playing the drums. What made you want to start the YouTube channel?
Well, in 2021, during our second lockdown, as I keep Facebook kept on muting my videos due to copyright, so it just made me feel like starting YouTube, and it made me feel better because it didn't really copyright. I only copyrighted a couple of my videos, but then some of them didn't get copyrighted, so I was happy about that.
Yeah, you always get it with YouTube. I know they'll just say like it's a copyright claim, but they'll still run ads on it. They'll still allow you to use it. I know one exception I accidentally ran into was I was trying to do a little memorial for Betty White, and she did a metal skit on Saturday Night Live, but they wouldn't allow that video to show up. So there's a certain how to put it, a certain point where they don't want you doing any sort of copyright and stuff like that. But I would have thought Facebook would have allowed it, but oh well. I know that's one of the things they quote about censorship or stuff like that, I guess. How bad was COVID out in your neck of the woods?
Well, we're quite lucky. We live in the country, so for a start, Josh drumming, he can drum whenever he wants, and we've got no neighbours, and it doesn't annoy anybody. But we're used to the sort of isolation. We live 5 minutes from the nearest small town, but we're used to the isolation as such. I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, it was just like a normal day for us, really. I mean, we were still allowed out. You're still allowed out to go shopping and stuff like that. But yeah, we stayed at home. Josh managed to. What we did with Josh is during lockdown, he decided to learn a song every day on the drums. So he'd pick it up, learn the basics in the morning. He'd do a video in the afternoon. He'd post it on his Facebook page at night time. As a bit of entertainment for everyone stuck at home and trying to build a social media page, which absolutely, that's sort of when he took off. He had the local newspapers, they snuck in and did an interview on him real quickly, and he got quite the following, and that's where it sort of took off for him quite a lot. I think he did 56, 58 nights in a row, songs he'd never really heard before. He'd just sit there and study them in the morning. He'd know it by lunchtime, play it by 2, 3 in the afternoon, and it was up on Facebook by 8 o'clock at night. And he did it every day during lockdown because, I mean, you had to find something to pass the time, really, and that's what he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Lockdown. Has there been like any sort of drama over that? Like, did some people complain about the lockdown and stuff like that? Not to kind of get off topic, but I guess did you guys witness anything like that? Anybody complain about the lockdowns? Everyone was cool with it.
Oh, you're always going to have people that don't like it, I suppose. In a way, I thought it was pretty good. Like for me, I worked really long hours at work, so I was hardly home during the week, and I sort of, enjoyed the time at home with the kids and family and everything like that, my partner, and we enjoyed it ourselves. So yeah, I mean, it's probably a little bit different in New Zealand. We're quite small. We only got a population of sort of 5 million here, and yeah, I think it was a learning curve for everyone. I think the whole thing has been, but it was fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was fortunate to work from home too, so it was good to also save on the money as well, but also time to spend with the family too. So that's one of the big pluses. I know people, they might complain about that and just be like, oh, I got to wear this mask and everything, and then I don't let it bother me. And then it's just one of those things. It's just one of those sound bites they just want to throw at you these days.
Yeah.
But has your country started to lift a lot of the COVID restrictions now? You guys having a lot of lower cases now?
Only just like we're peaking. We're up quite high. I think we're around sort of between 15 and 20,000 cases a day now. But they've now just relaxed as of Friday night. Public, like you can go to a big public outdoor event now with no number restrictions. Indoor ones are still 200 people. So Josh hasn't been able to go out and do any sort of gigging in pubs and stuff like that. But for outdoor events and everything like that in New Zealand, it's all sort of lifted up now, which is good because we've got a big car event coming up in about 3 weeks' time where Josh is playing, and it's good that there's no number restriction now, so it gets the people in there, and it's good for him. He loves live performing on his own, so.
That's good to hear, and wish you best of luck too. We'll come back to that in a little bit, and I also would like to know about New Zealand's culture, because me and my parents, we've been meaning to get out to New Zealand for a while, because I think they did a lot of filming for the Lord of the Rings series, and I think The Hobbit in and around there. So we'll come back in a little bit, but get back to drumming in a little bit. Josh, what would you consider was your biggest influence?
Well, breaking the influence and leaving.
Yeah, they went there.
My dad, Joey Jordison from Slipknot, Dave Grohl from Nirvana, Phil Rudd from AC/DC, Nick Mason from Pink Floyd, and Danny Carley from Tool.
That actually is a hell of a nice list too, and it was touching too because the Foo Fighters also had lost their drummer, so that was part of Dave Grohl's group, the Foo Fighters. So rest in peace, buddy. And it's good to see Joey Jordison too, and I was actually surprised that was one of your influencers, but that was another drummer we had lost too, and I've always saw like how amazing his drumming is, both in Slipknot and some of the other projects that he was a part of. I guess let's jump to your kit there. Tell us about your kit.
Well, my kit is a Tama Stage Star kit with meal and Zildjian cymbals that my parents got me for my 7th birthday.
Anything else? I mean, we'll talk about the hi-hat or the rides, or I guess how many toms do you have there all together?
Yeah, five toms. He's got a couple of hi-hats just due to his double kick setup.
You got 2 hi-hats, 2 little crash splashy cymbals, clinkety-clopping.
Cowbell. He's still learning the basics of his drumming and whatnot. But yeah, we had a real old kit that we called it the Frankenstein drum kit. I'd bought numerous drum kits just for parts. We built it all up for him. And obviously, once he took off and he started doing his videos, I thought, well, we need something that's all sort of one colour. It looked a lot tidier and everything like that. So, we went out and bought. We pretty much bought two drum kits, and then multiple other bits and pieces, and then just sort of morphed it all together for him. So, yeah.
It wasn't just like one particular brand. It was like a whole array of like pieces of it put together, and that's what
the Frankenstein one. Yeah, it was bits of bits of everything.
Bits of molds, bits of news.
But it worked for him. But yeah, once he started to take off, we knew we needed to invest a little bit more in it for him. And that sort of in the last 3 years, he's gone from just a little room to like a full production setup in here now, and it's still growing. Yeah.
What brand are your sticks? Are those Vic Firth, or is that a different one?
He's got actually quite a few. He's got quite a few different brands of sticks. We've got
I found you there.
We've got some Nova ones, but they're all stick it up with his own label and stuff on them. And
what are those ones?
Artist.
We got some artist ones. Yep.
So he chews through them. He chews through them so much. So yeah, we go through a lot.
They're all breaking and flying all over the place afterwards.
Yeah.
I guess, Josh, considering, well, considering your age, though, I guess, is this something you want to do as you continue to grow up, and then after high school and possibly college, or depending on which path you want to take? Is it something you want to do professionally, or is it just something you want to do like as a probably a side hustle or a hobby?
Not really. Like when I grow up after high school and stuff, I want to be in a band and make money and be happy and make music for people and make them happy as well.
Is there a particular genre that you guys like? Is it strictly in rock, or is it pretty much a wide variety?
Everything, basically.
Everything, really. Well,
Yeah, and we have music playing all the time in our house. So Josh is sort of around everything, pretty much. Yeah.
Is there is there a particular genre that you guys like? Is it any personal choice, or is it just not really?
Mostly rock.
I guess who would you say is your favorite rock band?
Who's your favourite?
The Nirvana.
Nirvana?
Nirvana's my absolute favorite. And then I've got Foo Fighters and Limp Bizkit, and that's mostly pop, so not really that. But still, yes. AC/DC and stuff.
Yeah, I was funny. That was funny. You said Limp Bizkit too. That's like I'd say a lot more hard version of like Linkin Park as well. But I guess is there a drum solo you guys want to play? I know it's kind of thrown out there, but did you want to do a drum solo for the audience?
Well, yeah, he can. Like that, yeah. Not sure what it's going to sound like on the end of it, but
it's all right.
Yeah.
Might be too loud. Turn down your volume.
I'll be deaf. There we go.
I'll get out of the way.
Sorry.
How long do you want it to be?
Try a nice minute.
Next minute, okay.
See what you can do. Impress us.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. Nice. Love it, brother.
Watch the camera, did it?
No. No, you're all good. That was awesome. You just abused the double bass. That was awesome. Alright. I guess now, because we pretty much breezed through a good majority of the questions right now, I guess let's jump into New Zealand in general. Have you guys been born and raised in New Zealand all your lives?
Yeah.
I know you were, but Dave?
Yep.
I guess tell me a little bit about New Zealand. Like, what's it like? I know yours is probably more in the countryside.
It's pretty good. Like, it doesn't matter where you are in New Zealand. You're not far from any coastline, pretty much. You know, a couple of I can't remember what it is. You may be within 4 hours of any coastline if you're in the centre of most of the islands. You know, so yeah, we're lucky. We live under Mount Taranaki, which is on the west coast of the North Island. So we're quite lucky. We've got the mountain's not it's not usable for skiing as much, but it's still there. Yeah, 4 seasons in one day is what we sort of get around here. So like at the moment, yesterday was a nice day. this morning it's blowing a gale. It's cold. It's going to rain.
Yeah. March is a pretty unpredictable month. It's cold one day, then it's like warm the next day, and it's like in between.
Yep.
Jumps back down the winter. Is that how it is too?
Pretty much, yeah. You sort of adjust to it depending on where you are in New Zealand. But no, it's a yeah, we like it. It's home.
It's home.
Yeah, it's a bit like it's probably a bit different. I suppose even with Josh's YouTube, we find it harder being where we are. I suppose compared to competing with the rest of the world with some things. But yeah, I mean we've got New Zealand's got its own music scene going on and its own bands and everything like that. And no, it's good all right. We don't miss out on a hell of a lot. People like to come to New Zealand. Like Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters loves New Zealand, so people do take the time out to come over. So we're not missing many opportunities for stuff like that here either, which is good. Yeah,
that's good. Do you guys do like any other activities like skiing or surfing, rugby and stuff like that? I know New Zealand's pretty known for rugby.
Yeah, New Zealand's really big on the rugby. It's sort of taken off a bit now because everyone's allowed out. So all the rugby games are they're actually allowed an audience and stuff now. So yeah, no, we're a big rugby country. But yeah, there's heaps of bike riding, mountain biking, just a scenic. So like you can go for a drive. There's roads and everything everywhere, and it's just heaps of nice stuff to see. You never get too bored, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you guys have your own rugby team, or is that like further down in the town?
For where we are, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's more the regions that we have here, I suppose. So we've got like the Taranaki has its own rugby team. So all your different regions, Canterbury, South Island, they've got their own. You got North, and then obviously you have the All Blacks, which are our main. Everyone should know the All Blacks. They're our main national team.
Oh, are they? Now, I did know about rugby. I think they did have it at a college my sister had went to, and her roommate, I got into a rugby team, and I kind of wish I did get to see it. I've seen it a couple times on TV, and I'm always worried it's going to be one of those things where a head just comes flying in and just hits the side of the face. I'm thinking like, oh boy, if that were to happen to me, I think I'd be dead by now or something like that. I guess, have you ever done anything like rugby, Dave? Or is it just something you like to watch?
Yeah, a little bit when I was younger at school. Obviously, sort of over here, it's a bit different to NFL, I suppose, over where you guys are. It's like playing bull rush with a bull. No body armor.
Yeah.
Nothing that you just straight down to the line. You got to be pretty tough-minded to play it, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, ours is with shoulder pads, and we call it football, which seems to get confused with soccer. Do they call it football or soccer in yours? Because I know Europe calls it football.
It's probably a bit of both, to be honest. Depends who you are. Like I suppose if you don't play it, you'd call it soccer. If you played it, you'd call it football. Yeah.
Of course.
Whereas over here, your sort of football would call it as you define it as American football, I suppose, just to everyone knows what it is.
Are you guys able to watch the West Coast teams play? I guess, do you get any channels showing American football?
Well, it's paid satellite TV, and then you've got to pay for your sporting channel, which sort of plays all of that. So really, anything that we'd get to see normally would be just highlights on news or any sports programs or anything like that on TV. But if you've got Sky Television, then in the sport channel you can access pretty much anything anywhere. Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm going to pass this along to my parents, and I guess I would like to get out to New Zealand one of these days, but what do you recommend for, I guess, me and my parents, I guess, anybody who hasn't been to New Zealand yet?
This is only a little question because one of my brother's friends have been here. That normally, if you come here in the winter, it's like really, really cold and stuff. But
dress up warm if it's winter, I suppose. there's lots to do here. Bungee jumping. We've got the Sky Tower in Auckland. So if you're coming in from overseas, you normally land in Auckland first. The Sky Tower is the highest building that we have in New Zealand, and it's worth the look up there. It's nice and high. So there's lots to do in all different towns. It's something there for everyone, pretty much. Yeah,
that's pretty sweet. All right. Yeah. Hey, maybe if I come out there, maybe we'll run to you guys and we'll do a nice little drum battle. All right. But moving on, I guess, to your goals and plans for the future. You said COVID didn't really seem to deter you guys too much. In fact, it seemed to give you an opportunity to launch the YouTube channel. It looks like it gave you some exposure. I guess, what's your plans and goals for 2022? It seems like we're trying to get out of Omicron and the COVID. I guess, are you guys still having a good amount of cases with Omicron, or I guess this new variant?
Yeah. They reckon we're sort of hitting our peak at the moment, but yeah, we used to only be around sort of under 100 cases a day, and then it's just escalated now to 15 to 20,000 as an average. But it's something I think the government now and everyone's just got used to. It's going to be here. Just get on with life and just work around it the best we can, I suppose. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it hasn't changed us too much, really. I don't think it hasn't affected us very much at all.
From what the story you told me, yeah. So I guess, Josh, what's your plans and goals for 2022 and beyond?
Fundraising, more giveaways to other people to make them happy, or just for someone to have a drum kit if I'm giving away one and they don't have enough money to buy one. Mostly just to grow my YouTube channel and make a little bit of money and have fun, basically.
I guess, Dave, what's your plans and goals? Are you just here to support Josh every inch of the way?
Pretty much, yeah. Just help him to build his YouTube channel. I think, trying to do as much as I can, I suppose, while he's young. Try and just establish it for him, I suppose. Because there's a lot of things that he doesn't quite understand, like the algorithm and stuff like that, how it works to break through. And I suppose during lockdown, I had the time to sit down and try and study the algorithm, keywords, and everything like that, to just try and make him just stand out. That's a big thing. You've got to stand out for people to click on your videos. So it was, more just encouraging him and helping him along the way. He's got a lot on. Josh does fundraising, so he'll use his Facebook page to do good for people. He did a live stream last year. He went for about an hour. People donated money for his continuous drumming. He did a couple of hours, and he only raised a small amount, $287, which he donated to the Cancer Society. So it's things like that. He did another fundraiser. He raised some money and managed to buy a drum kit to donate to his school. He's got people that just love what he does and jump on board and help him with giveaways and stuff like that. So he's got his yearly Easter one that he's doing at the moment in New Zealand, and he's also got a kids 5-piece drum kit that he's actually giving away at the moment too, which sort of gets drawn at the end of April. So just little things like that help push him. I suppose his age sort of helps him. Yeah, people just love what he does. He doesn't just do it for himself, he does it for others. Likes to give back. So yeah,
that's great to hear. And that's actually the first time I heard that too. It's always good to have a sort of charity side as well. How did you start that charity? Was it something you just decided to do one day to get back to the community?
Yeah, well, his grandfather died of cancer last year, and so we thought, let's see if we can raise some money, something to do. And it all came back down to our second lockdown that we had last year. So the Cancer Society is non-government funded over here in New Zealand, and they just rely on donations and stuff like that. So like every little bit counts. They were absolutely just blown away that someone of his age actually took the time to do something like that. And it's not we were meant to do another one probably, I think it was last weekend. It got cancelled because of because of COVID restrictions over here, which have now been lifted. But there was another cancer one where he was going to just go play they do a 24-hour relay, and then they have certain entertainment and everything like that comes in. And Josh was pretty much donating his time. We were going to travel down to Wanganui, which is about an hour and a half from where we are, and take all the gear down and set up, and he was going to do his part within the fundraising event for it. So, yeah.
Do you guys have your own website, or is it more strictly for social media where people can reach you and see if they can?
Josh has got his own. He's got his own website. It's joshuadrumernz.com. It's still in the early stages because we try and put him pretty much everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Wherever you can get just that little bit of exposure and just get his name or whatever out there. But the website's more of sort of what he gets up to, or what he is getting up to, and events and stuff that are coming up. We've also got a Patreon as well. We haven't pushed it too much at the moment because like over here in New Zealand, it's not a big thing, and they've only just brought it out that you can subscribe in New Zealand currency. So, not something we're pushing too much at the moment. Josh enjoys it. He'll go out and just bust to make a little bit of money to buy some gear and stuff like that. But yeah, so we've got him everywhere we can, I suppose, without it costing too much.
You got him everywhere, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So for the audience out there, we just move to see the sign so we can see all the hashtags, and that's where you can reach them to. Just move it up a little bit. The symbol's in the way. There we go. Right about there. There we go. Much better. Yep. So everyone, that's where you can reach them. And as well, if you want to donate or try to also compete for anything that Josh wants, you can reach him there. All right. So for this segment, one of the things I want to do is I give my interviewees a little bit of freedom to ask me anything or anything they want to get off their chests. So, Josh, we'll start with you. Do you have any questions for me or something you want to get off your chest?
How long have you been drumming?
Well, my story was... It's a bit of a funny one because it started with the video game Rock Band when I was... let's see, I think it was in my late teenage years, and I think it was late high school going into college, and I started playing Rock Band that way, and eventually worked my way up to when they had like the hi-hat ride and crash cymbal on it. And my parents realized that it was not just a fad and something that would just weigh it off over time. They realized that this is legit, so they wanted to give me a drum set, but they didn't want to give me an acoustic set, because if there's one thing that sucks about this house here is that you can pretty much hear a lot of things going on. You can hear the water running, so you can hear the drums like coming through the floor, even though you could be like on the second story floor. So they didn't want to do an acoustic set, so we fortunately stumbled upon an electric drum kit that I've been using in my covers pretty much for a good while. It started off as a simple one, and then eventually I worked my way up to a Roland TD-25, and I've been playing on ever since. And I would say a little over a decade now I've been playing drums. It's kind of on and off from time to time because it's hard business working 2 jobs. So I try to play whenever I can, and then also make sure I do covers and collaborations with other drummers on YouTube.
Another question. What is it like in America?
Well, if you're reading the news, it would seem hellish, to kind of put it in short. News-wise, it's best not to look at that because there are people who are going to make noise, because I guess that's how it is with some folk over in New Zealand. Really, where I'm at, it's always been great. I mean, people here are great, and there are occasionally some people who get a little out of line time to time and stuff like that, but like America's really great. I mean, have you guys ever been to America before? They haven't?
Nah. It's on the bucket list.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Would you guys like to see the national parks, or is it specific cities that you want to see?
I don't know. For myself, it'd be cool to see a lot of things that I've seen on I suppose TV, movies, stuff like that. You just want to see it in real life. And I mean, there's a list this long, I'll never get to do any of them, all of them. But yeah, that's what I just like to see things just in real life, and just say, yeah, I've been there. I've actually seen it for real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same way with me, and then that's what me and my parents wanted to do. We wanted to see New Zealand firsthand after seeing how Lord of the Rings had portrayed it for the scenes that they had videoed all the way out there.
Yeah.
I will say I've not been very far out on the West Coast, so I can't tell you too much about that. But on the East Coast, Florida is always a good state to go to. And same with Georgia. Me and my parents, we've been there a good bit. We've always gone there. Usually during the winter times when it's a little bit warmer. And in my neck of the woods in the state of Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh is a great city. You'll find a pretty much diverse culture, ranging from like German, Polish, Hungarian, a lot of mix, and I guess a lot of like people like different variations. People are great here. They love their city and everything. So if you ever want to come out here, I can probably give you the tour and everything if you ever want to.
Cool.
So, don't expect me to know everything. I'll just tell you, like, this is where we go, and, like, just go and have fun. Just come to America and just have fun, and just say, like, hey, we're here. We heard great things about America. So,
Cool.
hopefully that answers your question, because it's not a very easy answer, considering what you could probably read in the news, so.
Yeah. What kind of brand is your drum kit?
It's a Roland TD25K. It's a lot similar to Throwback Drummers. I don't know did you guys ever do a collaboration with him?
No, we do watch his videos, eh? Yep.
Actually, I did an interview with him, and I had also did a collaboration with him, and it's along the same lines, but mine has like 4 toms, two crash cymbals, a hi-hat, a ride, snare, and it's a double bass, but it just has like the 1 bass and the 2 foot pedals.
Yeah.
And it's always been great to me. And recently I had to get the top hat of my snare fixed because I was doing too much of the blast beats on it. So it was starting to wear and tear finally after a couple of years.
Cool.
I guess, Dave, you have anything you want to ask or get off your chest?
No, I think just sort of what Josh asked is pretty, yeah.
Probably some of the questions that you wanted to ask.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Along the same lines. All right. Well, we're almost out of time for today, but the last thing I want to ask is what sort of message can you give to drummers out there who are perhaps like Josh's age, probably looking to take a similar path, or maybe just trying to like start out? Like, what sort of hopeful message can you give them?
Well, first off, believe in yourself and don't give up. Even if you fail and you think you can't do it, just give it a try and you'll be able to do it one day.
Okay. And Dave?
Yeah, just keep at it. Like everyone's entitled to their opinion, and everyone comments different ways on your videos and your style, and not everyone likes, what you do or how you do it. I think for that's Josh's main drive. If someone, he'll take a negative comment if there is one, and that'll make him work just that little bit harder. Not for them, but more for himself. It's depending on where, like YouTube. You might not get many views or subscribers or anything like that, but just keep at it. Like, it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen. You'll get that magic video that'll make you go, and you build off that, I suppose. But yeah, the biggest thing, just dream big and don't give up.
Right.
Just believe in yourself. That's all.
All right. If you guys, I know that was meant to be the last question, but have you guys gotten a lot of negative comments, I guess, from like trolls on social media or Facebook or YouTube?
Nah, not really. Yeah, you just get the odd stupid. You get, we've had a couple of just stupid comments. But that's like, it's just dumb, stupid comment, really. But I mean, no, most everything Josh gets is quite positive. He just blows a lot of people away with his talent, I think. And at this stage, that's what does it for him. It all depends on what platform you've done it on, and who's sort of watching and reading at that same time. But I mean, you know, like I said to him, you don't let it get you down. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. You know, there's something he's going to say that he probably doesn't like either. Whether or not you express it in a comment or you keep it to yourself, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I do want to thank you guys so much for coming on, and I am sorry for the loss of your grandfather. Was that who you said passed away from cancer?
From cancer. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's life, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
But
sorry that came a little late. I probably should have mentioned that sooner, but
It's so good.
all right.
One, thank you for interviewing me as well. It's actually been quite fun, and yeah.
Yeah, thanks for you taking the time to just
Yeah, it was just good to finally reach out to somebody internationally too. Been keeping it local for a good while.
Yeah.
All right. But well, thank you guys so much again for coming on. So where can the audience members reach you guys at? I guess you guys already showed the sign, but let's show it one last time.
Yeah, if you just Google Joshua Drummer NZ, he comes up.
He comes up easily. All right. That's where you guys can find him again. All right. Well, Josh, Dave, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on. And as soon as you put that sign down, salutations. Stay safe and stay tuned.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. All right. Y'all take care.